welcome back to another video. So I hope you guys saw and remember the last video. If not, you can just go check it out right here and then come back. But well, I failed. But then I remembered that Python uses dynamic variables, which means that it doesn't have to stay at the same type of value. For example, if you input a number, Python saves it as a string, just like in C++. But now in Python, I can easily change it into an integer, which was a lot harder and why I failed when I was doing it in C++. So hopefully that will help a lot. I first set it up to just accept an input for your function. I also set an array, which includes the operators. That way I can detect what is a number and what is a character. Now I had to make a for loop that gets the length of a function you entered and runs that many times. I also added a few variables and set them to reset to 0 at the beginning of the for loop. Then I had to check to see if it reached the letter x in the function, and if it did, it gets the exponent, which I just set as the number after the x, and the number in front, and from there I just multiplied them and added them to a new array. It was pretty simple, at least compared to the C++ version. It was like half the lines. But anyway, to conclude, just do your homework, kids. It was really fun to make this, but the amount of effort I put into this, just to do the easiest part of differential calculus, which I can also just do by hand in 2 minutes, depending on the function, of course, but around that, it just not really efficient. It was, of course, really fun to make, though. But yeah, as you can probably tell, we're only halfway into the video, or drop more than halfway. But that probably means that there's going to be another part. So here is part 2 of part 2. Anyways, though, on to the real part of part 2. I don't even know, but you get what I mean, okay? So anyways, in school, we just learned something called the law of cosines, where if you have the value of two sides of a triangle, and you also have the value of the angle between them, you can plug them into this function, and then using that function, you get the value of the third side squared, and then to get its direct value, you just need to square root it. So once you get the hang of doing it, it's pretty easy, but it takes time to write it all out, and no one really likes to write stuff out. But that's what math teachers do, because they're math teachers. But anyways, so I decided to write a program, which will take the inputs that you give it for each side, and then plug them into this function, and then it gives you the third side squared. Even though that's what a lot of calculators already do, but I was bored and I needed to make up content for you guys to make this video longer than half a minute. So yeah, in case you are wondering or don't remember the function, this is it, by the way. But anyway, so I started off the program in Python. I just made a few variables to hold the values for the angle and the sides, and then I accepted input for them. Pretty simple up to here. And then I realized I also had to use the math library. That way I can use the cosine function and get the value of pi, because whoever came up with pi decided to make it more than just a normal number and made it like 3.14 blah 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 blah. Okay, but anyways, I realized that I had no idea how to use this math library, so I turned to my last hope, man's best friend, Google. And then apparently, to use the trigonometry functions, the parameter you have to pass it in has to be in radians or something. So now I had to figure out what the heck is radians. And then I had to figure out how to convert from normal numbers to radians, which was really annoying, but it gives me more time to waste your time. Anyways, so after some more Googling, emotional support from my dog, and my dad's help, I figured out how to convert it. You divide your number by 180 and then multiply it by pi. Then made it do, I then made it to each half of the function and then added them together, and then I was done. Now I just have to figure out how to smuggle this into a test, but that's for another time. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video or the last video or any of my videos, or you just feel bad for me, you can go like this video, share it, subscribe, comment, anything. Thank you so much, and I'm out of here.